Hello and welcome to the next episode of Joe and Martin Show. Today I'm here with INOHA. So can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Keanu. I'm the lead singer.
I'm Ricky, the drummer.
What's up? I'm Gavin. I play lead guitar.
My name's Chris, and I'm the bass player.
So how did the band all start? Like, how did you guys all get together?
We all got together. First, it was me and Ricky. We were in a previous band before this project. And when that happened, we started playing open mics and stuff around like the area in San Antonio, because we're based in San Antonio. We started playing like open mics and stuff. And we found Chris right after that. If you wanna go on that.
I saw Keanu and Ricky playing at an open mic one time, and I was like, oh man, these guys have cool sounds. And I saw they didn't have a bass player. So I don't know if I asked y'all at the venue or if I messaged y'all that day. I think I messaged y'all that same day, and I was just like, hey, y'all need a bass player, you know? Like, and I just kind of slid in their DMs and they liked it. So
Was that at Deco's, right? That was at Deco's. I remember like some dude came up to me and he was trying to like have me join his band, but he was like some older guy. And I was like, okay, guy. I don't know. He kept telling me like, yeah, I'm a really good guitar player, you know, but I just don't have a guitar or something like that. And then,
I was the last person to hop on. I was playing a show with one of my old bands, Victory Lap. They're like a pop punk band, emo band from San Antonio. And Keanu was there, and I was chilling, if you know what I mean. I was at like the venue, right? I was chilling off to the side. I was like, hey, I'm here. Keanu comes up and says, hey, I heard you play guitar. Do you want to play in my band or want to audition? I was like, sure. Yeah. And so like 2 days later, I get a DM from him. He's like, hey, we're going to get together on this day for like rehearsal or something like that. You want to come by? And I said, I completely forgot about this. Yes, let's do it. And I was fully sober. And so that's how I kind of joined. And it wasn't an immediate click. It took a while to get to the point where I was ready to be like, okay, I think this can really work. But once I saw that I immediately from the beginning, I saw there was potential musically with these three and what they already had. And I was like, okay, this is a really unique style. No one plays some stuff like this in San Antonio. I'm in, even if I don't feel confident in myself yet. Because at that point, I'd only been playing drums for 4 or 5 bands at the time, all consecutively, like at the same time.
How do you find like when you say when you found these three, you mentioned that you had you saw the potential. How like once you're in a bunch of bands, how do you realize when a band has potential and when where they're kind of like messing around or like they're not taking it as seriously?
Some bands were like that, and it's not their faults. Like some bands have a lot of other engagements, work, school, whatever it may be, their own personal lives, and it's not their fault. They can't put 110% into it. But it's gonna sound cheesy, but being in a band that tours the United States and stuff is like my dream. I've always wanted to do that, even if I didn't have 100% faith in it. So going from all of those other bands where it's like, oh, we can't do a show this day because I want to go do something else. I want to go do this. And it's like, okay, you're not putting in that extra effort. These guys were ready to do that, but then they also had a sound that I had never heard before. They clicked. They were together. After being in so many bands and playing music for so long and all these different instruments, there's just certain things, I guess my own intuition, I just knew something was different about this band. So I stuck with it, and I didn't have any really good technical ability at guitar, and I'm still not the best guitarist. But they've kind of carried me along for the ride, and I've gotten a lot better with them since they've stuck with me.
Yeah, he significantly improved the time through the time he's been with us though as a guitarist. So I was really happy, to give him a chance. Really just because I know he told me. Oh yeah, thanks, pops. Yeah, it was just Paper Tiger. I just saw you. I think you were telling us. Yeah, he's like you play guitar for like a really long time, and like no one gave you a chance for really because like there's so many guitarists like San Antonio and everything. They're like, well, we need a guitarist. Why not? So.
And what would you describe, I guess, like as the San Antonio sound or like these other bands? Like because you mentioned it was like a little bit their songs a little bit different from like everybody else. How would you describe, I guess, like the San Antonio sound and then like these guys' sound?
Okay, well, I think we can all agree that it's very like rock influenced. San Antonio has always been a rock and metal city. Yeah, very heavy. So half the bands are hardcore, metal, whatever you want to whatever falls into those genres, dad rock especially. There isn't a few like indie bands in the scene, but even the indie bands and other bands that aren't indie, that aren't hardcore and rock, they might play like whatever else. There's still an underlying tone of, I would call it dad rock. The stuff you hear in 99.5 Kiss. If you're from San Antonio, you know what that is. That's like Incubus. That's like,
Yeah, over here it's 94.5. It's the same thing.
yeah, it's all the same stuff, but it's been on rotation since the 90s and early 2000s. There's a lot of underlying tones from that type of music in San Antonio music.
And how would you like each of you guys describe your own sound? Like, what's the INOHA sound? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I think for us, I think it's a blend of a lot of genres. We all come from very different backgrounds. I come from like a very indie background, like Strokes, Good Kid is another one, Last Dinosaurs, all bands like that. Chris.
I love a lot of the same stuff that Keanu likes, but I also grew up on that 90s grunge, that 99.5 area of music. And then I also was at the same time in country bands a lot. I played bass for country for four or 5 years. So that's like a lot of my songwriting influence. So whenever we write together, I always like, my lyrics come from rooted from country storytelling and stuff. So it kind of transfers over to our music pretty easily.
I guess rhythmically, or from my background, I did kind of come from that same radio because my dad would like listen to all those like, you know, classic rock type things at the beginning. So that's where I kind of got the first exposure to music. And so when I started taking lessons, I started learning on those songs. So that's kind of like where I grounded in drums. But then I started like expanding my horizons in high school. I remember I saw a movie called Ray, which was about Ray Charles, and it was by Jamie Foxx was the lead role, and that was cool. That like inspired me to like actually like music. I don't know, but when I first saw it.
Music before?
No. Well, like I had a deeper appreciation for music for ever since then, because I don't know, something about his performance and the way I saw. I don't know. It awoke me. It zinged like, you know, in Hotel Transylvania. I was like, oh, music, you know. And so then, yeah, from ever then, I've been like learning stuff. But like still, when I play now, you still hear some of like that classic rock foundations. A lot of that like triplet type stuff that I throw in there that's rooted from old head jazz, because that's what their inspirations were. So that's kind of where I get. But now, ever since I met Keanu, he's been putting me on music, and even Gavin. So, you know, I've started listening to more of this, you know, upbeat indie stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. And so now it's expanding me even further. So I love it.
My influences, I come from a lot of like that same dad rock stuff.
Yeah.
But for a long time, I've been really into pop punk. I've always been a pop punk kid.
Oh, pumpkin.
Yeah, I love pop punk. So I like cheesy, but like the right amount of cheesy, you know? Power chords. I want it to be easy. But then also, yeah, Keanu has been putting me on like a lot of indie music, and I've taken a lot of inspiration from stuff I hear from there. But I also want to say, going back to like what it's San Antonio sound and what makes us different,
Yeah.
is the lyricism. And that's a lot of Keanu and Chris. I come by, maybe I'll throw a word in there too, but most of that lies with Keanu and Chris. There's something about the way they write lyrics and their storytelling. It's especially noticeable from Chris's country background. There is storytelling in a lot of the lyrics, and it might be simple, and it might not be about anything specific, but the way they write their lyrics, I've been in a lot of bands, and there's no other band that I've been with that has lyrics that I can latch on to like this band.
Where do you think that all comes from? Like, 'cause you mentioned like for your country, but like, what was it for you? Like, where that storytelling comes from, like that background.
That storytelling background is just listening and going on Google and stuff and looking at stuff and everything. Like literally, yeah, that's literally for me. Like literally for our song Naomi. The reason, the title, it's so according to Google, it means pleasant and gentle. And we were like, oh, that would be a cool thing to, you know, fit in the lyrics of the song. So in that song, you can hear that basically, and it's stuff like that for me. It's just sometimes it's random. Sometimes I'll have like a random vocabulary. Like for this, we have like an unreleased song. I pitched the word derision, and like I was like, it fits there, but I don't know what it means. Because like I knew, and then Chris looked it up, and he's like, "Oh, this is a perfect meaning." So stuff like that. It's just I like to pull from different aspects and everything, and that's where I guess my storytelling comes from. And I also just like to write stories. I really liked English when I was like in middle school and high school. So that was
That explains, yeah, the English background.
I do want to say, Keanu consistently will come to like songwriting time and like he'll just come in with like, I got this riff and I really want to fit this word in. Like Biggest Salmon was meticulous. Yeah, he's just like, I really want to fit the word meticulously in this song. I don't care where, just figure it out, Chris. And it's just like, that's usually a job that falls on me where he's just like, yeah, figure out this word in there. Okay, I'll figure it out, whatever. And then yeah, so I make pop and rap on the side, and so a lot of my rhymes come pretty quickly for me. But then on top of that, I like telling stories like rap as well. So there's certain lines in our songs where they'll be cut off by commas. If I wrote it out, it would be like comma, next line, like stanzas. I write a lot of our songs in stanzas, and like poetry rather than actual like stories sometimes. And I just think that works better for us and the music we're making. It makes it a lot more streamlined for me at least. And I think it works out. I mean, our music's been pretty cool with it. So
that makes a lot of sense because I think when it comes to like a rock background, most people say like, oh, like I got that from my parents, from my uncle or something like that. But then usually like the rap side usually comes like from younger people, like whether it be your cousins, maybe younger uncles that are like, in between that age, and then like friends. So I always find that like interesting contrast between the older generation and the younger generation. The fact that you're combining both of them to make your music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of that country background that I had influences what I do now, even though I don't like religiously listen to country like I used to. But it's like it
Which
heavily
country would you listen
influences.
to?
Oh, what do I listen to now?
Yeah. Well, which one? I guess. Yeah. When you started off and then right now.
I say I used to listen to like a lot of country, a lot of obviously classic rock and like dad rock. But
like favorite artist or like genre of country.
Country, George Strait, Garth Brooks, and like, I'd say Alan Jackson. I love a lot of his stuff.
A lot of like the 90s stuff, right?
Yeah, 90s country. 90s country is like the peak country. And that's honestly like my favorite songwriting songs are in there. Like there's just some clever songs in there. But then now I listen to I listen to a lot more indie, again, Good Kid, Last Dinosaurs and stuff. But yeah, Chattahoochee. That kind of music. But then I also listen to a lot of rap. If you're looking for new rap artists, love Sad Kid, who's from Texas. They're super, super cool. They're actually the reason I started making rap and stuff. And then Exo Society, Rav, and Kill Bill the rapper, all great musicians, really cool beats where they mix in a lot of city pop, which is also another influence I got in my head. Because they'll sample city pop songs and then they'll make beats and do that. So then I started getting into city pop from them. It's all a whole line.
That music's always interesting because like you hear like the happiest beats ever, but if you look into the lyrics, it's always like depressing stuff. Like like Plastic Love is a big example of that, where you think it's like this cheerful song, but it's about like false love or something like that.
Oh yeah, we love that's also an area we like to write in. We like upbeat music with sad, depressing lyrics as well. But yeah, we each pull from our individual backgrounds, and we just all mishmash it together, and we're not afraid. Yeah, there's a process. Yeah, there's a process, but obviously we always try to pull from all these different types of influences. We haven't really, I guess, defined our sound too much. But we're still working on that process and everything, and hopefully in the future we could start, doing all that stuff, solidifying that and everything. But we just do a lot of experimenting, and we're not afraid to experiment with stuff.
And I guess another question that I think most people like in my local scene have asked was like, how did you guys like really blow up? Because I think this is a big thing where like everybody's trying to make it. Obviously, we saw you like 2 years ago at the Shack in Edinburgh. Now you guys are like the streams between them and now. Like it's a big difference.
It's crazy.
It's a big difference. Huge difference.
Honestly, it's just like catching lightning in the bottle, and just there's no solid formula except just consistency. Before the viral video, before the one viral video, we had like 50, 100 videos that flopped, and then like before that, we have like 1,000 ideas, that get workshopped and everything. And so it's just putting in that work in, dedicating that time, because it's hard, sometimes to dedicate time to making like stuff like the stuff that we're making and stuff like that.
On the mic cable, but there's also. Yeah, consistency is it, but I'm trying not to sound like too conceited. You got to have music that's original too. Like if it sounds too much like another artist, odds are there's going to be another band that sounds just like what that artist is making. Yeah, like it's good to have your influences and pulling from your influences, but you got to create something original that people are going to want to hear. If it sounds like another artist or it sounds like a whole bunch of other artists, or it's not going to work. Like, for example, San Antonio. Half the bands there, especially older bands, they're all pulling from the same pool of influences. That same classic rock, dad rock, hardcore, whatever you want to call it, whatever they're pulling from. And at some point, it kind of just sounds the same. It's really hard and it is very hard to write original music that is unique in some way. I would never be able to do it without the rest of the band. But that is like 10% of it. The other 90% is just consistency. Yeah, and music now is no longer about just having good music. It's 90% marketing, 10% actually about the music.
Yeah, because I can imagine like how many talented musicians there are in the world, and they will never make it just because they're not good at marketing. And that's just it. It's the marketing.
There's like so many really good musicians like in San Antonio. Like there's just San Antonio is a great melting pot of great musicians. Like there's a small rap scene in San Antonio that has some really good stuff. It's just they either focus more on playing shows or focus on other things rather than promotion. And I get it. Like as a musician, you don't want to focus on sitting in front of a camera and making like a silly video. Yeah, guess who's the drummer? Whatever videos.
Song of the summer.
Yeah, the song of the summer videos. Like, I get it. No one wants to do that, but like literally, like we've had practices where we straight up like don't practice our music and instead we'll make videos because we have to. There's a necessity of it, and it's gotta happen, and you have to do that if you. It's that thing where Gavin was saying with the 110%. Like, that's our 110%. We know that it's necessary in this landscape, so we're gonna do it. And there's a lot of people that'll still say like, oh, that's cheesy or whatever, or it's like, or they think that you're less of a musician because of it. Don't let those people tell you that, because dude, like, it is necessary in today's day and age. Like, it is 100% necessary. There's way too many things going on in the world for your music to be someone else's top priority. So if you spam it in their face, eventually it's going to become something that they listen to at least once.
What were you going to say earlier? Yeah, because you're about to say something too.
Oh, I was just holding on to the microphone, but like, I was like, I'm a pretty central person, so if anyone wanted to speak up, I'd be like, oh, bam, I'll just move it real quick.
Yeah.
But I guess I could piggyback off of them. I mean, yeah, in short, you got to have a strong foundation of good quality music that you spent the time researching. If it's a band, you got to find the right bandmates. You got to find 2, 3, 4 people that are
Same mindset.
Same mindset. Over here. Same mindset. You got to be like-minded, but like all these guys want to get the job done. So that's the thing. That's step 1, right? Step 2 is then having consistent, quality, fresh ideas for that promotion. It's about the consistency, but it's also about the consistent ideas as well. You can't have the same stuff spammed because then it gets too saturated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have fun with it. I mean, like, because it has to be natural. It has to resonate with the audience. So all of those things have to align. And all those little things accumulate to be very difficult to do because it's a bunch of easy steps, but all of that combined is difficult in an overall setting.
And how do you keep your ideas fresh and like, just, I guess basically not staying still? Like, how do you do that? Like, where do you pull all these ideas from?
each other? I mean, we all, you know, we all are have social media. We participate in it. And then we have, I guess, different algorithms and we see different things. He might have an idea. He makes a video. He puts it on Discord and we're like, yeah, that's a good video idea, Keanu. And then, or Chris makes it or whatever. So we bounce all these ideas back off of each other and like, hey, maybe change that word or something like that. Or, you know, and it's, so we're all different machines working on it, you know, and we're bouncing those ideas off. And so I guess the answer is have friends that really.
The answer was friendship.
The answer was friendship.
Power of friendship.
The answer was the power of friendship.
I never
helps us
thought
make
about it, but
music.
you guys use Discord for like communication, right? Rather than the group chat.
Yeah, we use both. We use Discord sometimes to in the event that we just for meetings and stuff like that. Simply like that, and pretty much yeah, posted files, links.
Yeah. Discord is more for, we use it, but we're not always on it. We use Instagram DMs. It's just easy for us to work, and these guys all have Androids and I have iPhones, so text messages would never work for us because these guys are horrible with iPhone.
That might change soon, though.
Yeah, dude.
Apple started implementing RCS or whatever that is.
Well, if that's the case, we can start texting, but I refuse to text these guys. It's always going to be Instagram DMs. But yeah, Discord's more for like file posting and stuff. And then we have our Google Drive, which is like the master key. Yeah, we have everything from photos to just like general song ideas. And sometimes we'll sit on a song idea. Like there's a song that's been in there for about a year and a half called Dragon Fruit that I've been messing around with. And sometimes I'll be like, no, dude, this needs to change. Because it's over a year, especially with the young band, our music style changes and like our writing style just gets better and better, or we want to change it. So it's going to go a different direction. But sometimes we'll sit on an idea for a long time and not touch it and come back to it and be like, okay, I can work with this with a fresh mindset. And you're not stuck in like, it needs to be like this, you know?
Where does all the fruit stuff come from? Because you mentioned dragon fruits, then papaya man.
I guess these guys are pretty fruity. Honestly, I don't know. I think we just really like food. Food is like a common thing for this band. After rehearsal, are you guys hungry? Yeah. The other day, I drove past Keanu's house because that's where we practiced, right?
Yeah.
And I stopped at the gas station because I was about an hour early and I was gonna get like a Sonic slushie or whatever. And I just got off of work and I see him pull up Church's Chicken and I text the group chat. I said, "Oh my God, I see Keanu. He's been caught red-handed 4K at Church's Chicken." All right, and getting the 2-piece feast, yeah, but we practice whatever, and we get done, and I'm not feeling too well, so I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go sleep it off." And he goes, "Are y'all guys hungry?" I said, "Did y'all just eat? Did you just eat like 2 hours ago? This wasn't long ago." So I think the common trend among our songs is food, and you know, it's not just Dragon Fruit and Papaya Man. There's been other songs about putting pizza in the microwave. Like a lot of other songs have food theming.
This is borderline Weird Al stuff.
Yeah, and you know I think we're all on board with doing weird things like that as long as it's catchy. Like we don't want it to be. It can be cheesy, but it has to be something that it can come on my Spotify playlist and I'm not going to skip. You know, it can't be a novelty.
How do you balance that then between the seriousness and the silliness?
Do you have something to say for that?
I'd say like, so Papaya Man is like a great example of like us being a little bit silly, but like that song still has like a meaning or a story that you can put to it. And like, you know, we try not to like explain like, oh, this song's about this or whatever. Cause like obviously music is a malleable thing. Yeah. Subjective thing. Yeah. Interpret it how you want. But like, there's a bit of a story there. And like, we just wanted to, Keanu literally came up to me and was like, I want papaya in a song. And so Papaya was the name. And we went with that. And I think me and Keanu wrote that in like a couple hours, like just on the couch and acoustically. And then Gavin heard it. He heard the demo of it like a way later on. Cause he was like, we needed songs to fill out the album, and Gavin was like, what's this Papaya Man like in our drive? And he looked at it and he completely like revamped it with us.
Well,
I wouldn't say revamped it. The song had the same structure, same lyrics. We just wrote a second half to it.
Yeah.
They wrote a second half to it. I made it with the whole band instead of acoustic. And originally they didn't want to record it. They were like, I don't know, man, this is too silly. And I said, there is no other time where we will have, because we already decided the album name was going to be Aloha INOHA. It was going to be kind of like beachy themed, tropical themed. I said, there's no other time in our music careers where we're going to have this same theming. Like, I want to move away from this tropical stuff at some point after this album. So Papaya Man is the most appropriate time to release this. And it is silly. Like, and I think Keanu said earlier, we haven't really found our musical identity yet. Like, we're still kind of really early in our band life. We haven't solidified our sound. I don't know if I ever want to do that. Like, if you solidify your sound, you're kind of limiting yourself to a specific niche. I like whatever INOHA writes and we're all happy with. If people don't like it, that's okay. I mean, I want people to like it. Don't get me wrong. I would love for people to like it. But if I'm really passionate about a song, or if Keanu's really passionate about a song, we're going to fight for that. Like, Chris has been fighting for Dragon Fruit for like a year and a half. And I said, I'm not ready to write on this. It needs something. I can't exactly tell you what it is. I sat down for an hour the other day and I was like, okay, I kind of changed the chord structure. I think it's ready to go a little bit further. And sometimes we'll work on it for like another hour and wait another 6 months. And it's just how it goes.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And it's a good thing you have that mindset of where you don't let your fans dictate your sound, because I think it's really common with creators, just in like on YouTube, for example, where there's something called I think it's called audience capture, or not. I'm not sure it's audience capture, but like basically it gets to the point where like you get really big that your audience starts dictating what you should do rather than the other way around, where you're like able to be creative on your own. I think it's a really good mentality to have that right now while you're still growing, that you're not going to let other people influence your sound.
We've had that conversation a lot, actually, especially recently. Now that our album's out, we're like, what do we want to do next? And I said, always write different things. Like, there's something about INOHA. We already sound like INOHA. We have 3 singers. We bounce off each other. What other indie band has rap, has influence from like these big indie bands like Last Dinosaurs, Good Kid? What other indie band has like a pop punk edge like in Biggest Salmon? Nobody else has that. And so whatever we're doing now works just fine. We don't have to write like anybody else. Mm-hmm. Although you say that our audience doesn't dictate what we write, there is one song we're releasing a Minecraft version of Seventh Heaven, and Minecraft parody of our own song. And that was dictated by our audience. He said, if you get this amount of streams in this amount of time, we'll do it. All right. So it's actually happening. So that's like the only instance of that happening as of right now.
Yeah, because I'm not sure who it was. I'm not sure it was Henry Ford or someone who said like if you ask people what they would want a faster horse compared to like getting the idea of having a car. So something like that does happen.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, the music's ours, and we choose what we want to do with it, and if people like it, and we hope they like it. We really do. Please.
Yeah. I think that's also kind of like the game you play as a musician, where it's like, you want your fans to be happy with you, but like going back to like promotion and stuff, like we promote our music pretty often. We're posting a reel or 2 every other day at the least. And it's like, some people hate that. Some people hate seeing us on their feed over and over again. And sometimes they only see one specific song, even though we post a different song like every other day too. And it's like, it gets annoying. I get it. But like, it's the same thing where it's like, we do that because we have fun with it. So we're going to keep doing that because it's working for us. It's something we enjoy doing. So we're going to do it. And it's the same thing with our music. We're going to keep on making songs that we enjoy because we like doing that. It's not going to change because a couple people are like, that's really annoying. Stop it. I mean, like, bro, this is our music, man.
Yeah, we're going to continue to slay.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because like I'll tell you the reason why is because I was earlier this past month, whatever, I had Shirley Temple on a show, and if you look through their comments, they get a lot of hate, but they get so many views on their videos, and I'm like, okay, so you guys experience it as well. Like me and some other bands or like some of my close like friends, they were wondering like, how do people like deal with the hate that comes with it? Because on one side, you have to promote yourself, you actively have to be pushing yourself to like to an audience, but how do you like learn not to annoy them, or like you just how do you deal with that? That's always something I always wondered. I'm like, it's crazy.
It's always just ignoring it and just continuing to just do what we do. You know, again, this is our project. You know, this is our music. This is our art, and you know, we want to keep making it, and we have fun with it. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, comments fuel the algorithm
That's
too.
true.
So if you hate us, if you hate us, comment.
Yes, please comment. Do you hate this?
Let us know. Yeah.
I'm surprised none of the bands, at least the ones I watch, whatever, have like thought of like making content out of the hate comments. Like I know like Jimmy Kimmel, who does like the mean tweet stuff.
Yeah.
Why not like do like mean comment stuff where you talk about
Yeah, and we don't want to make fun of people who say that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but we also have like a certain level of professionalism that we have to uphold too. Like we're gonna be silly on stage. We're just silly people, but we're not gonna be rude. You know, people can be rude to us, but dude, whatever. It's an internet comment. Like boo-hoo, cry about it. You know, you don't like our stuff. That's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, but yeah, we're not gonna care about it.
To me, I just wonder like what goes through your head where, like, if you don't like something, like I just ignore or just like swipe. I mean, that's all you have to do. But to get to the point where you really hate something that you want to comment about it, I find that really strange. Like that behavior, I don't know.
Maybe it's just me, but sometimes I like reading through the comments. I'd be like, dude, our listener count and my own pride in the music that we make, I'm really proud of what we've done. You don't have to like it. I'm proud of it. I'm having a blast with it. It's okay. I'm still going to read your comment though. Like, and I'll be like, this guy, this guy, get a load of this guy. Exactly.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Just go through it.
It's kind of a fuel for me almost. Cause if someone doesn't like something, well, maybe down the line, we'll write something that they will like.
Has there ever been a comment, like not a mean one, but rather one that has been like constructive that you actually took to heart? Like, okay, yeah, this is actually right. We should fix this.
I don't know if there's a specific comment that I could put my tongue on, or my finger on. I don't know my tongue. But like, I still see the good comments and I'm glad people are resonating with the music. That's my favorite thing. And they're making, by proxy, just by listening to us, they're making my dreams of traveling the country and playing music with some friends on these big stages possible. Like what I thought was a fever dream. Thanks, Ricky. What I thought was was like never going to happen, and I gave up on that dream a long time ago. It was like reignited when I first joined INOHA. I was like, maybe this could really work, and it is really working. Like this is happening. And I'm happy if I don't get to travel the United States. That's okay. I got to play some really cool stages with some cool friends. I'll never tell this to them. I don't tell them this. So I'm getting sappy, but yeah, I'm just proud of what we've done.
This is the most open he's been with us.
Ever. This is the first time he called us friends and not like some bad
coworkers.
Yeah, coworkers. Yeah.
Guys clocking for the job.
Yeah, working our 9 to 5 at INOHA Incorporated. Yeah. We'll show up to rehearsal. I'll get in. And he's like playing the guitar. Like I get in like last or something. And I'll be like, hey, Gavin. He's like, hey. Like, what the? And then I'm like, Gavin, you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. Like, okay, buddy. I think, what was it? Go ahead. I was going to say, Keanu said it best one time, like, how do we make this band work? Well, we all hate each other just a little bit. just a little bit. Yeah, we're our biggest haters. But to go back to that comment thing, like, there's been times, like when the album came out, I thought it was really cool to hear some people comment or message us directly and say like, I like these songs off the album. This song I didn't like as much, but I still enjoyed it. And I was like, that's awesome. I appreciate that opinion. Like the fact that you're able to say like, you know, I really like this and this. This one wasn't really my vibe, but I still like that y'all did it. You know, like that's really cool. And there were some people that said like, hey, I just really didn't like this song on the album. Everything else, awesome. Sure, dude, like that's great. And like, I think that's like kind of the goal too. Like with a lot of our music, it's kind of like, it's not 100% for everyone. Not every song is going to be for everyone. That's just like impossible to do. Our goal is to make at least one song that you can find in our discography and be like, that's it. That's the hit. That's the heater. That's a banger right there. And it's like, and luckily we've made enough songs right now that people are like, okay, I like these three. These three are my favorite or whatever. And like, that's awesome. But even if there's just people that know us for just like our biggest song right now, Seventh Heaven, that's fine, dude. Yeah. At least you listen to that one song and you listen to us. That supported us. We appreciate that a ton, you know?
I'm glad you say that because when I was in college, there was this girl who was like, wore like decked out in like stuff for Ghost, the band. And she was like hardcore, like gatekeeping, like, because I told her, like, oh, like you like Ghost? And she's like, yeah. But let me ask you this. Do you listen to any other song than like Square Hammer or Cerise? Like she told me that. And I was like, yeah, I do listen to them, but like.
Name 3 songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was kind of like, what the fuck?
No. Not that one. Not that one, Keanu.
To that we hit each other just a little bit.
Yeah, back to the. But no, like, yeah, like I don't want. There were some comments whenever we first started blowing up that immediately were like, I'm gatekeeping you or this and this. And I thought those were so funny. We started replying to them with the INOHA account like it's too late now, brother. Like,
People on TikTok too will be like, we can't gatekeep you anymore.
Yeah, we can't gatekeep you anymore. Like, I love those comments, dude. That's so fun because it's like, yeah, like our goal is to not be gatekept like that. We want it to be for everyone. And it's really silly whenever people like are like, yeah, I'm gonna gatekeep you.
My favorite comments are when like it's a video of and we have like Keanu in it and someone's like, is that Keanu Bacall? and then someone's like, boy, do you know? Or someone like, boy, do I have a surprise for you or something like that.
You want to sit down?
You're gonna want to sit down for this, yeah. So those are my favorite comments. They're so funny because they don't realize like because he has a solo thing and he's blown up already. So it's like yeah. He's a two-timer.
He's an influencer.
Oh,
What? You're an influencer now or what?
Oh no! No, I was before INOHA formed. I had my own. I still have my own like solo music and everything. And I had a similar situation to INOHA. But what's really cool about INOHA is that we're still making cool stuff and everything. And we're consistently pushing for something. We're consistently pushing towards a goal. And that's really awesome to especially go through this type of like virality stuff with a group of like your friends and everything. So that's really awesome.
This is his second time.
This is my second time. If I had a nickel for every time I went viral, I would have had 2 nickels.
Wait. Oh, dude, I was going to say the side project. The story, INOHA. Yeah, you got to tell that, Keanu.
So INOHA, going back to me and Ricky again, we were in this former band, and stuff wasn't being made really. So we were like, okay. I messaged Ricky one day, like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this unserious side project. We're just gonna make like a bunch of ideas, simple, catchy stuff, and and then Ricky agreed. And 2 years later, or about something around a year and or something later, we're here. It's a little bit more serious now. So a little bit more serious, but it's stuff like that. It's crazy how that stuff happens.
Mm-hmm. What was the point where you realized, like, you know what, this is actually becoming something? We can't be messing around no more.
We played. It was one of our first shows together. It was actually Tandem Fest for me. Tandem Fest was actually the time where I left we left our former band, and we were like, I grabbed Ricky aside because it was a fun show. It was really awesome. We had a lot of fun playing that show, and I pulled Ricky aside and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna leave this band because like I've been looking for, I guess, like a reason to, I guess, kind of leave, but I was still attached. But seeing INOHA like have so much fun and everything and see what was happening, I was like, I want to see where this goes. And that's pretty much how that happened.
Where would you want the band go? Like, where would you want to see the band go next after this?
We're gonna play arenas and we're gonna play stadium. But we have a good thing going. We just want to play to people who enjoy us, and that's just continue to have fun. We want to tour. We want to go to Cali. We want to go to Europe. We're gonna go everywhere. We're gonna go Asia. No, all this place. Australia, dude. The Philippines. But yeah, stuff like that. That's
I think a main goal for us is to play with Sabrina Carpenter Yeah. we've been making that joke recently. We had, what was it, Seventh Heaven went on the viral top 50 in the US on the Spotify playlist, and we were like, oh, this is so cool. And it was above Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. We were like, dude, we gotta play a show with Sabrina Carpenter. It's like, we're on the same level, guys. No, literally, we quote that song way too often. It's so good. Because I'm a singer. Yeah, and then now our new addiction is Chaperone. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Chaperone too. Yeah, and Nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know why he gave me the microphone. I was like, yep. Oh, I can say something about when Keanu texted me. Cause like I remember no, I'm not gonna say anything bad, but like well, I remember his your single came out, the first one for your solo, I Won't Run. And I listened to it like over and over again. Cause I was like, holy crap, this is cool. Like I was like, dude, this is heat.
He's an OG.
Yeah. Chris was an OG too.
Real. I was an OG. I was listening to Keanu Bacol whenever he had like 500 monthly listeners. It was awesome.
I remember seeing his profile and I was like, yeah, it's about to come out. I remember the morning I saw it and I listened to the whole time. I was walking to class because I was in my college dorm and I was like, yeah, this is heat. But then I remember like later on, I think it was like a week or two later or something like that. I can't remember. But I was in my dorm and I was just chilling and I get the text from Keanu and like, dude, I like jumped for joy. I know, yeah, I straight up did. I was just chilling and I get a text from Keanu and like, I don't always get a text from Keanu because I was like, oh, this is special, man. He asked me. So I was like, holy crap, he wants me to play? I was like, we're going to do a thing. I was like, this is so cool. I got up, I got inspired. I started shadowboxing like in my dorm room. Yeah. I was like, dude, this is gonna be the band of the summer or something like that. I was so happy. I don't know. Something came over me. I was like, I just knew. I was like, this is gonna be cool. So, and then we met Chris, and then we met Gavin, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
Downhill from there.
No, it didn't. No. I had known Chris for a little while too, so it was. I knew him. I was like, yeah, this guy's perfect. So, yeah. What's next on the agenda?
What's next on the agenda? I mean, so I think that's most of the questions. I mean, honestly, like I'm just excited for you guys because anytime I see a local band actually making it, it's like, okay, cool. This is great. Like we need more of this. Whether it be here in South Texas. I mean, people call San Antonio South Texas, but I think McAllen South Texas. I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because anytime like I talk with agencies, they're like, oh, we only do South Texas, and they mean San Antonio. I'm like, we're over here. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Texas, from San Antonio and down, I feel just does not get enough representation in the music scene. There's a lot of good music here. It's harder. Yeah, we have some friends in Canada, the Dealers, who we're playing with later tonight. Mm-hmm. They're good friends. Pillow Snake, they've both come up to San Antonio and played. It's tough to make it.
Just like a giant 4-hour leap between each other.
There's a 4-hour leap, but like,
and it's just farmland too. It's not like cities or anything. It's just farmlands.
Yeah. When I actually went to UTRGV for my first year of college, so I was staying in Edinburgh, and coming from San Antonio, I've lived there my entire life. This was like culture shock. I felt like I did not belong here. All right, I said this is weird. I don't like it. So I'd go to local shows and I'd see local bands, and I actually, the reason why I know Canada Dealers is because Lane, their lead guitarist now, he played in another band previously, like a cover band, and I jammed with them like once. And so that's how I met Lane. And Lane joined Canon, and I was like, oh, cool. But there is a lot of good music here, especially in South Texas, Brownsville and McAllen, Edinburgh area. It just does not get enough representation, and it's hard to break out of this area because you are so...
It's so isolated, yeah.
Yeah, it is isolated.
We're closer to Mexico than San Antonio, literally.
Yeah, and it's a 4-hour drive. And a lot of times, if you're a small local band, you're just going for a show, you got to know somebody, especially if you're driving from the Valley to San Antonio or north to play a show. You got to know someone who's going to give pool. Because most of these shows, you're not even going to get 25 people there. It's pretty saturated with shows, and a lot of it is just metal bands and stuff. you've got to know someone. And so I think that's also something I told the band at one point too. I said, if we have friends that want to come play a show in San Antonio, it might take a while before we can do it because we're not booking our own shows anymore. But like once a year, I think I'm going to do it annually. I do like a New Year's show. I invite all my friends, just come out and play what they want to play. We have a good evening. It's not about the attendance. It's just about having fun. Cannon came and played last year. I want to start doing that, but with other bands that aren't from here, specifically from South Texas, because there's some other bands here that I'm really interested in. Clement Hall from Lubbock, we played with them. I still owe them a show. So if they see this, one day we'll get you in San Antonio.
Because that part's very true. Like as much as like people want to have fun with the music stuff, it is about like connections and making sure you know people around. Because if not, it's gonna be very difficult.
Shows, yeah, like marketing and stuff. But if you're trying to get into the live show scene, it's all about connections. It is about who you know. And it's, especially if you're an introvert, it's really hard. You know who's doing a really good job right now in the Valley, and he's been doing a good job for a long time, is Pillow Snake. He talks to everybody. He's a super nice guy. He has good music. He's just like a hustler for shows. That's how he hopped on this lineup. He sent us a meme. And he goes, who's that actor or the comedian? He said
It was Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah, and he's got like the coked out face and the beanie, right? And then
got any shows, something like that, right?
Yeah, got any shows? And I was like, dude, you didn't even have to send us the meme. You could have just asked and would have said yes. We've seen you before. But he does it in his like own unique fashion. He's always hustling for shows, and that's like, I appreciate that. That's really cool to see that he's just like constantly pushing his music, and so we'd love to have him back in San Antonio.
And it's good that people do that, because I think some bands don't understand, or maybe they're because they are too shy, that you need to hit up promoters to get shows, or other bands that are also like building their own shows.
I think Ricky just did something stupid, and Gavin just. Okay, dude.
They're playing footsies over here.
Yeah, they're playing footsies, dude.
Okay, don't worry. We don't judge here.
I'm sorry, but what was that? What was the conversation
about getting shows? Like how Pillow Snake actually like hustles for shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's like definitely an art to it in a certain extent. I mean, like you got to be an artist that's already promoting your own stuff though too. Like, yeah, like because like, and that's the thing you were saying where like he promotes his own music enough, and then he's also like, hey, could I also get on your show? You know, that would be cool. There's some bands that I feel like don't promote themselves, like aren't doing as much work to promote themselves, and then they'll just be like, can I get on this lineup? And it's like, who are you? Yeah, like, or like, and like I don't know anything about you. Yeah, like take me to dinner first, man. Like I don't know, man. It's just like there's a balance where you got to be able to be like, hey, I'm this artist. This is my music. I've been really promoting it on here. I really want to get into this scene. Like just be honest with it too. Like some people I feel like are hiding behind it. Like just say like you want to do this, and like this is my reasons why. You know, like it's almost like a little application kind of thing, and it's like. Yeah, dude. I mean, we'll take it, and we'll take it with that same professionality. If you're gonna come to our DMs with that professionalism, we're gonna reply the same way. You know, as some people are weird like that. I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely very much care about our community, and we want to uplift our community. And you know, as long as you're willing to put in the work for yourself, you know, we will help you. You know, we don't want to help. You don't want to just give like a rant. We have a platform. You know, we have a lot, and we don't want to boost up. You know, the quote unquote wrong people who, you know, don't work hard or are in like a bad, you know, situation, stuff like that. You know, we we want to use our platform to uplift our community and our, you know, our friends and our scenes and our scene. And No,
I agree, because I think at least here, I'm not sure how this is like everywhere else, but here some promoters get stuck in a circle where they keep like basically booking the same bands over and over again. I think that's like one issue on like just making friends. But then also like there's certain bands that, like you said, they don't promote themselves, because there was this one band that I'm not gonna mention the name, but I wasn't aware that they were active still, because they haven't posted like since March. But they were saying that they were working on their EP, and I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But like you should still like
you still gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah, because it makes it like if you see them on your social media, like you're getting like, oh, they broke up or something, and that also like works against you.
Oh yeah, definitely. You definitely got to keep for social media. You definitely got to keep feeding the beast. That's what we've been doing. It's a huge algorithmic machine, and we just keep feeding it so people know that we're still around. And it's important to also promote your old music as well. We have our EP. Obviously, we've been pushing our album right now, but we still promote songs off of our EP. We still play songs off of our EP. That's important.
We're gonna play a lot of those EP songs tonight too. But yeah, like I think one of the biggest things too is like I've seen this a lot since I've been in the rap scene in San Antonio and just in general online, because I do ghostwriting and stuff for other artists, and there's people that I've met that have no experience in doing anything on their own at all, and then they expect someone to come in and be like, this is step by step exactly how you do it, and like expect them to like handhold them all the way. And it's like, dude, it's not gonna ever work for you if that's how you're doing it, man. And just in general, like there's a lot of rap scene that I've been around has those people like that. And it's like, I want, you have great music, but like I can't help you. I can't, like not when you have one post on your Instagram from November of last year, and it's like, bro, what? Like, yeah, just like you were saying, yeah. It's crazy, man. But
Yeah, it is what it is.
yeah, it is what it is.
No, that's why like when it comes to like what you were mentioning about like building up your community, like I feel the same way where it's gone to the point where it kind of scares me sometimes. But like the established bands here in the Valley, like they always tell the younger bands like, hey, like if you want to grow, come to my podcast. Because often, like I always like when I interview bands, I don't care how big or small they are, as long as they're showing that work, that they're driven. More often than not, like a lot of the bands that I interview here, like they always get a boost here in the Valley because other bands are paying attention to my like interviews. So like they see, okay, they can see like the views you get us on the podcast or the interview. So I know certain promoters, they use my interviews to like gauge how big a band is, which is pretty smart. But I'm like, okay, I need to like, okay, whatever. You kind of think about that, but it helps boost certain bands' profile where people want to start booking them because like, hey, like they did the Joe Man podcast or interview, whatever. Like these are legit bands that are working towards their goal, and I mean that's like that makes me very happy because I don't care like how big or small, whatever. Like as long as I'm able to give people a platform to speak their minds, because again, most bands like they do talk with each other like at a show, but like it's very like small conversation, small talk here and there, good set, whatever. But here you're able to like talk about your personality. It's not just all about music. And part of that is because I don't know music theory at all. So like whenever you guys talk about like chords and all, I have no idea. I'm just nodding. But like when it comes to like showing your personality, like where people don't get that opportunity, I mean, this is the perfect place to be doing that stuff. And I don't know, it makes me happy. Like I'm able to like help build the communities and not just here, but I want to like expand our reach because again, like you mentioned, the Valley is kind of separate from the rest of Texas. So I want to talk with bands like from San Antonio, from Houston, to build that bridge and take these bands from here over there because I think one thing is it's expensive. I mean, it's not cheap driving back and forth between the Valley, San Antonio. That's like what, 4 hours of just one way. It's 8 hours if it's back and forth if you don't stay overnight over there.
Yeah.
And then that's just a time investment. That's not including like the actual monetary investment. If your car messes up, because that has happened to a couple of bands where they're traveling over here and the car messes up. If your instruments break, your drum kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I can do anything to help bands out, like I'm more than happy to do that.
I did kind of want to piggyback on something you said with oh my God, I blanked hard.
Oh my God.
God, you were just talking about it, dude.
Ricky's gonna save the day. Give it to Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Ricky, save the day.
Yeah.
So so back in the day, I don't know, what were we talking about? We were talking about the
Okay, good.
We're talking about building up communities because
Yeah.
you guys mentioned the New Year's show and all that stuff.
oh yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, it was the personality thing you were talking about.
Personality too.
Dude, I think it's like one of the biggest things I feel like bands like aren't doing enough of is like showing themselves, because like
Yeah.
there's a lot of music out there, and you can make a lot of great music. And I think this kind of ties in with promotion again too, where it's like you got to show yourself. Most people they're buying into your music, obviously. That is the main thing they're there for. And maybe your content, if you're promoting and doing as much as we're doing, where we're doing reels every other day, but like they're also buying into you as a person. I mean, like there's already examples of people or bands losing their entire following because one person did something in that band.
Yeah.
Like that's how it happens, because they care about that band, but they care about the members too. So once one of the members loses that, like they do something that bad, then it's the band. The band did that.
Yeah.
And the band isn't worth listening to anymore for a lot of people. I know some people are just like, yeah, just, separate music from the art, whatever. But not everyone can do that. And not everyone, should have to do that. If you don't feel like you vibe with the people in that band because one of them's a horrible person or something, then yeah, you don't have to, And I think that's what we try and do in a lot of our promotion, at our shows, even in general. We try and like show our personality on stage because we like being ourselves on stage. We're not trying to put on like an act or like put on some kind of theater show for y'all. We're just trying to like play good music for y'all and have fun.
We're not mysterious and like edgy.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of we can be. But right now we're a bunch of fun loving guys.
Friendship.
I'm a fun guy.
Friendship.
Friendship is magic. Oh, yo, that was a crazy
And there's two
backflip.
examples of that. The biggest one would be Taylor Swift. Like her fan base, the connection between her and her fan base is crazy. I think it's called like Parasocial, or I don't know what it's called, where they really believe where they're actually like friends.
Yeah, no, and it's like there's, I feel like,
It's not a good thing, but like that, I don't know like how she did it, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
for her.
yeah, no, I feel like parasocial relationships can obviously be taken to an extreme level and, a normal, like healthy level. But I respect artists that have that connection with their fans, because they were able to show themselves so much through their music or whatever, that people have completely attached themselves to it. And Taylor Swift being a great example of like people that are Swifties. They are there, dude.
They're there,
and it's
yeah.
like, yeah, she has great music. Like for those people, that's awesome.
I forget who they went after recently. They went after a rock star it was Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl, because I forget what happened with like his daughter.
The thing about
and-
the Eras tour, I don't know what he said.
yeah.
Called it the Errors Tour and says we've always play our music live, unlike Taylor Swift. That's why you could call ours like the Errors Tour, right? And so
He got
Taylor,
bombarded. Like,
yeah, but Taylor didn't like. I don't think she made an official
She doesn't-
response to
she
that.
doesn't need
She
to.
doesn't need to. Her fan base was the one who came after her.
Because I think it's something with like the Swifties attacked his daughter, and that's why he doesn't like her anymore or something. Like that was like the whole thing. And I was like, there's a lot of like big dramas like that with bigger artists where I'm like, I think that's silly, but
I saw the clip and it, to me, just looked like just they're just jabbing at each other. It didn't look like anything serious to me. Yeah, he always makes like you could tell. I mean, from when I saw it, Dave Grohl did not seem like ultra serious about that.
No,
he was
just
just jabbing at an artist.
make decisions.
Dave Grohl doesn't have to say anything either. They're both just
Yeah.
artists, big time artists, you know.
Yeah, another example of like a good relationship, at least, it was Vortex when they came down here to the Valley. They were the first band I ever seen. Like when they had a completely sold out show at the Gremlin. They took the time to come out and actually greet every single person. And if they ever wanted to take a picture, they took a picture right there. And then after they finished the entire line, they went back inside and they got ready for the show. So like something like that. Like I never seen any other band do that. I'm like, okay, these guys, they're taking it seriously.
Yeah,
You want it? Oh,
Did you want to talk or me?
who wants to talk?
Either one works. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we like to do that. We like talking with our fans, and it's we played a really big show at the Paper Tiger. It actually got sold out. We played it with Shirley Tempo,
Yeah,
and Tony Jupiter. Yeah,
great guys.
really cool. But we sold it out, and then eventually got moved to the big room so more people could come. But like we talked to everybody who was in line for merch. They all got the opportunity to take pictures, talk about whatever they wanted, sign whatever. It was fun, and sometimes it's hard because it's like you have to find the balance of time between, well, we've got to go get ready for the show, we've got to pack up our gear, but we always want to, yeah, especially for the drummer. But we always want to we always want to talk to people who enjoy our music. Like if you want to talk to us or see us out in public, whatever, just say hi. I mean, we probably can't invest, an hour of our time because we've got other people to talk to at shows, but we do genuinely want to hear what you have to say and talk to you and take a picture. Don't be scared. And we're not scared to do that either. Like if we like an artist too, we'll go up there and be like, wow, that was a great set. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. We're the same. We're ultimately people just like anyone else. Sure, we make music and we have the stage for that time, but we're just normal people and we like talking. Like, come talk to us.
I will say, I got that Paper Tiger show too. There was a long line afterwards that wanted to talk to us. Yeah, we were there for like an hour and a half just talking to people and like signing things because people bought merch and they wanted to get it signed. And I was like, that's crazy, dude. Like, I wouldn't have thought like I'd be doing this anytime soon. Like, especially within the year and a half that we've been around. Like, it's crazy. And to be able to have that opportunity is just insane. So that's why I'm like, yeah, we have this opportunity to do this for you. If I was a fan of a band as much as you're a fan of us, like I'd want that experience too. Like I'd want to be able to go up to the band and be like, hey, can you sign this or can I show you this? Like we got given this fan art that was like really, really cool, dude. Like he printed it out, like he printed out two and he gave us one of them and he asked for us to sign the other one. And it was just so cool. It was just we posted it on our Instagram because I was just like, this is so neat, dude. Like, how many times in your life are you gonna get like art from someone for just you, like for just your music, for your thing? Like that's crazy, dude. And to take the time to make that is just awesome. Yeah. I love that. I love that kind of stuff.
Has there been like any other like fan interactions where like you guys were like really blown away? Like that was one of them. Like has there been like others that come to mind?
Dude, the guys that came to our album release with the papayas, they drove from Houston. Yes. There's another one that came from Seattle, I think, Washington. Oh, shit. That was early in our career. That was even before like we went viral at all. There was a guy that came to Tandem from San Francisco. Yes, right, that dude was sick. And he was super chill. And like he came all the way from San Francisco down to Texas for a show, for us having a show at Tandem Coffee. Like it's a coffee place. And this guy came out for us. Like that's awesome, dude. And Tandem's an awesome venue, by the way. Like they have some cool shows now there too.
Shout out to Slothy Boy. I think that's his username.
Slothy Boy, yeah. Yeah, dude. He came all the way out there just to see us. And it's like, that's insane. That's insane to even think about. Like, but yeah, like the guys that came from Houston with the papaya for our album release. The bracelets. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have that bracelet on right now. Mars from Austin came and made us these. Mars Saturn on Instagram. Yeah. Made us bracelets. And like each one of us has one now. And it's like, that's so cool, dude. You made something for us. Like, that's insane. It's insane.
My favorite fan interaction was the one who gave me Kane's beads, like Mardi Gras beads. Yeah, I was at the Paper Tiger show and he came up. He's like, dude, I got these for you in New Orleans. And they're, like Mardi Gras beads, but it has a Kane's like logo and like the dog. It's like, this is badass. So I have a Kane's tattoo now.
Are you guys trying to get sponsored by Kane's?
Dude, and if that ever happens, it's the best. I have a Kane's tattoo of a chicken tender right here.
This is the camera.
Yeah. If you can see that, it's just a chicken tender being dipped in cane sauce. But that was a free tattoo, and that has another story, but we'll go. Kane's saw my post about it, and they were like, we love this tattoo, and they sent me free box combos and a card. Yeah, so... Yes. And I'm a certified Caniac. I got the whole Cane's Caniac Club card and everything. Like, the only thing, Canes, if you're listening, serve milkshakes. We're golden. That would make you like 100%, but you're 99% right now. But yeah, fans interactions, when they happen at Cane's, they're magical. There's been a few where people recognize a set of Cane's because we'll go there like 50% of the time after rehearsal or something.
You guys should do a Cane's show.
I wish.
There was one fan interaction with me. I was at a Cane's, I was with my girlfriend, and we were just We went in. I was in like this really long tank top that didn't fit me, and some shorts and like some like sandal slides, raggedy ass. And then like I was hungry. And I got like the caniac, no coleslaw, extra toast. And then like I demolished that shit. And then like my girlfriend didn't finish her stuff, so I was like, let me get some of that. So I got like an extra tender and two, and like I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then like there's this one guy right to like this angle of me right here, and like he turns around and he looks at me, he's like, are you that guy from INOHA? I'm like, yeah. And as I'm like eating, I'm stuffing my face with chicken tender. That was one of my favorite fan interactions. It was so funny. Do you have one, Ricky?
Well, no. I don't know. Number name. I don't think I really get recognized out in public that often.
You get recognized at Trinity University.
Yeah, I did. I go to Trinity. It's a San Antonio University, and so I've gotten recognized a couple times there. I think that's how we got a gig with with the sorority. I can't remember, but yeah, that's how we did that. Oh, and that's also how we got the gig at Stable Hall. Yeah, that was a really cool gig.
What is that?
So it's a venue. It's a new venue in the Pearl, in San Antonio. So the Pearl's a pretty prominent place in
downtown.
Yeah, it's downtown place in. But now it's it's really fancy. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Victor Rutten played there too, and we played there as well, but not with him. But I wish though. But no, that was a rad place. We were there. Yeah.
Like that Trinity Fest.
Yeah, it was like Trinity Indie Fest, KRTU Fest. There you go. That's what it was, and there was a lot of people. It was fun, and there was a green room. There was like a bison up there too and everything. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was the first time we saw like a big line for like our merch and everything, and we almost sold out of merch that day. And that was one of the very first times that ever happened, and it was really cool.
That's the first time we ever had merch.
Now it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Now we're like, yeah, that's cool.
We've been on a good streak.
I remember we scrambled that day to like make sure everything was gonna work out with the merchandise. Because we didn't really have our system down yet. Now we have our things together about that. But that was like one of the first few times we were kind of stressing before the show about all that. But yeah, I haven't really got recognized anywhere else. I'm waiting for it,
You're waiting for it?
Yeah.
You gotta go to Kings.
Yeah. Please recognize me.
Okay, this is his date of birth. This is social. Find
Find him anywhere.
him anywhere.
I think these guys go out more than me. That's what it is, So that's what it is. Probably. I don't know.
You seem like a little bit more like introverted.
I guess. I don't know. I just
You're
didn't.
hidden behind the drum kit.
Yeah, I'm also hidden. I mean, these guys are all singing. He's got a beautiful guitar. He's got a beautiful bass.
Your drummer.
Yeah. He's got a beautiful voice. They're just all beautiful. And then I'm just sitting behind this big instrument. And they're like, what's all that racket back there? What's going on all back there?
Secret fourth vocalist.
I am. I sing on, if you know our album, A Next Time, at the very end, that super high note at the end, that's actually me.
Oh, wow.
That's actually me. I did that as a joke. And then they're like, dude, we should keep that, bro. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even, I was like, I just did that for fun. And then they're like, yeah, let's keep it. And they don't always like my ideas like all the time, like when it comes to like vocals and stuff, because that's not my thing. I just throw stuff out there. But then it was the one, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do it. This is my moment. And then I hit it, and I was like, yeah.
It was like one take too.
Yeah.
You hit it on the first take.
I did it. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's how I roll,
One take wonder.
One take wonder. I'm 1 for 1 on the mic,
How many takes you got to do, Keanu?
Too many to count.
Too many.
And where do you, like, out of curiosity, like you guys mentioned that you guys want to like change sounds and all that stuff. Like, where do you guys think you're gonna go next? Like in terms of sound.
I know we were thinking of something like, we obviously right now we sound very like youthful. You know, we appeal to like more of like a younger audience, and you know, obviously want to mature, but you know, kind of still keep that youthfulness. We want to talk about deeper subjects, deeper topics. I think that's the way we're gonna go right now. But you know, we're not letting anything limit us, and you know, yeah.
I think a better way to word it would be we want our sound to be mature. So maybe like we still want to be catchy, but he's like, we want to talk about deeper topics. We're still talking about writing the song about putting the pizza in the microwave. Like, that's not going to happen with us. Our sound, like sonically with our instruments will change before.
We don't want to be. It's called like we don't want to be like 30 singing about being a teenager forever. You know, which I mean, obviously, like songs like I mean, really all of our songs that we have out right now. 10 years from now, I don't care if we're playing them. You know, but I don't want that to be the only kinds of songs we're playing later on. You know, we're gonna have songs that are just in general aging with us, rather than music that's just staying in the same place all the time.
A lot of new experiences. You know, we're gonna live our lives. You know, and our music's gonna reflect that.
And I guess we don't want to keep our sound with something that's like finite or dated. We want to also expand into something like that's, I guess you can also universal, so that we kind of grow with our sound and also have some sort of aspect that, you know, maybe some of our songs that we wrote back then are still applicable today and like, you know, 10 years from now, but it's still growing with our music as well. So it's a balance of both.
And what's nice about INOHA is you have so many different backgrounds that it's really easy for us to fit in. Like if a new, like rap is really popular right now, people really like Chris's rap verses on Seventh Heaven and like Fire in the Sun. And I think we should capitalize on it. I don't want to be known as the band that, you know, they have a rapper, right? But there are times where it fits in very nice and tastefully. And it's like, okay, let's use that. People like that. But because we come from all different genres and backgrounds and music influences, it's easy for us to fit in with a growing trend. And we really like that. And we want to write in that style. We'll do it. I mean, we've got bossa nova in like an upcoming song. We've got, like jazz guitar tones. It's whatever we feel like doing, it's going to come out. It's going to come out.
Yeah. We're also like multi-instrumentalists, you know? You know, I can play the piano, he can play the drums, this guy can sing, play guitar, you know? We switch it up, you know? If we wanted to. We don't always do that, but
Thinks he can play the drums.
I think I can, sort of.
he gets the idea out. And he's like, can you play something like this? And I'm like,
something more purple.
yeah. No, he actually told me that one time, and I was like, bro, what does that mean? Like,
I want you to play this. I want this symbol to sound purple.
something like that, bro. And all I did was like waited for him to walk away and use the restroom, and he came back and hit the symbol the same way, and it still worked. Or something like,
Beautiful.
perfect.
The magnum opus.
But you hit it with that purple energy.
Yeah, purple energy. I was like, you know, purple.
Out of curiosity, would you guys ever do because you mentioned your background was in country, would you guys ever do a country song?
I don't know about that one, Chief. I was in country for a while. Wait, what? Oh yeah, the folk one, right? Yeah, Ronnie Radke can help us write a country song. And Jelly Roll. All three of us, dude. Somebody save me.
Because right now there's a lot of artists trying to jump into like country trend. You had Beyonce and a bunch of others trying to like,
Young Gravy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gravy does it but to the point where it's still good.
I think all of it's good. I just think it's really silly either way. But I was gonna say like, yeah, I don't know if we'd ever purposely make a country song. I don't know about that. If we do, we do. I mean, I think it's definitely something we would do like one off on purpose. Like, cause like with the Minecraft parody thing, like we did that for an April Fool's joke, and then people were just like, you need to post this. You need to get this like full version done. And we made a full version now, but I don't know when we're posting that. We got to figure that out.
Because I know with rap, there's also like what isn't it AWOL or Chroma? Like they kind of mix between indie and rap.
Mm-hmm.
They're from different. I think they're from Dallas or somewhere over there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, that's cool. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. But yeah, like I think if we did a country song, it would be really silly. But I was in country for a long time, longer than I probably should have. Because I mean, I was like, what, 16 in bars playing shows for people often. And it was fun, don't get me wrong, but it's like you learn a lot about the country scene and people that love country music. But yeah, I think if we did a country song and we played like a country bar or something, it would be crazy.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day, we might want to, instead of like chinos, we're going to wear the blue jeans. Gotta get them cowboy boots, the regular blue jeans, the flannels. We might want to be cowboy. We might be a Cowboys one day. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Dude, we got to play Cowboys Dance Hall and we got to play one song and it's just going to be our one country song. We're going to play Chicken Fried by Zach Brown for 24 hours. No, but like, yeah, and I'm their country looking guy because I always wear like blue jeans and flannels usually. So this is new for me, guys. Yeah, Gavin took us shopping because he was like, "You guys look ugly." He's like, "You guys suck at dressing. Here, buy this. It's $150."
That's out of curiosity. Have you guys kind of like landed on an aesthetic? Because I know some bands they choose like a certain like wardrobe when it comes to like.
No.
Give it to him.
Okay, I didn't tell them they were ugly, but I did say there's room for improvement, a lot of room. I said you need better stage clothes. And it doesn't mean we have to dress up all in the same thing. Like we don't have to be in a uniform or anything. But you got to look, some cohesiveness. I'm to my own horn here. I've been I think in my opinion, I think we can all agree I've been the better dresser in the band. Even though I don't like do anything crazy. It's just because I buy clothes I want. If I see something I want, I'm going to buy it. I've just got champagne taste on a water budget. So, and if I'll wear shorts on stage. I don't care. But I just told him, we got to have some stuff that's, we just got to have some stuff that looks good on stage. It doesn't have to be, it still needs to be true to you. Like Chris chose the stuff that was one of the shirts he chose right now.
This and these jeans.
That is true to how he is personality wise and how he dresses. I'm not going to tell him you can't wear that. No. But like I took Ricky to Zoomies and he got like some skate clothes. And that's not Ricky at all. That's not what I expected him to pick out, but he did. Keanu's picked up the slack though. He recently went shopping before we went shopping as a band. His girlfriend was the one who was like, "Yeah, you look ugly. You look ugly." Yeah.
My girlfriend told me the same thing too.
Yeah, his girlfriend. Apparently, all our girlfriends are telling us we're ugly.
But I said no.
Nobody's girlfriend told us we were ugly.
As is. My girlfriend was like, "Yeah, you're great, and you do." No, she didn't. Well, she's okay with how I dress because she knows me. But yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah. She accepted me. Yeah, but Gavin's the other girl that's like, I think you need to change your style. I think you're ugly as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean that's great.
Cool.
Like that because again, bands are not just the role you have as like an instrumental. So it's also like what you add to the band in terms of like you would be like the fashion stylist. Each of you have like I guess a different role. Like what would you guys consider your roles basically? Because again, it's not just playing your instruments. Some people do the marketing. Some people do the fashion example. Some people do like I guess the presence of the band itself.
You want to start it, Chris?
Yeah, I was like, I mainly do a lot of the promotional stuff right now. Like I'm in charge of the Instagram. So if you've ever messaged us on Instagram and you've gotten a DM back at 2 a.m., it's because I'm on Instagram answering every message we get. And literally on the viral reel that we had that's went like within a week, it was at 1 million. It was crazy. I went in the day Seventh Heaven released. Me and Ricky actually both went and responded to every comment we could because Instagram literally thought I was a bot because I was responding to so many comments so quickly and telling everyone it's out, and like Ricky was responding to DMs at the same time, so he was responding to like our hidden DMs, our requests, and then I went into our general DMs and I sent it to everyone, and it's like we were up until like 3. I think you were up till I went into bed at 5 because I kept answering messages just because I enjoy doing that. Yeah, 5 a.m.
Quick note: he was like banned. You were like banned from doing. You weren't banned, but your phone literally didn't let you interact on the INOHA band account for like a week or two after that. Yeah. He would like ask me, "Hey, can you do this? Because I can't do it on my phone."
Yeah, because Instagram literally thought my phone was botting our account or something. Because I couldn't like anything, I couldn't follow anyone, and like it literally for like 3 months I couldn't do anything, and I had to let these guys do it for me. My role musically though is more like I do a lot of the writing, like as in lyrics. That's my main thing. Keanu and they'll go through their roles, but yeah, like I'm mainly about vocal melodies, melodies in general working together. Like I like listening to something that tells a story and tells it well with the instrumentation that's going on, which we all have a voice in where the instrumentation goes, but vocal melody is my biggest thing, and I love testing Keanu and being like, "Hey, can you hit this or can you do this on this song?" And he does it, man. I've learned his vocal range to where I can tell him like, "Okay, hit this like wobbly ass thing and do that vocally," and then he does it. It's crazy.
He probably knows my vocal range more than me, honestly. He probably does. My role in general at the band, I help with the writing as well with Chris. It's usually me and Chris who does like, I guess, the foundation, the skeleton, and then like Gavin and Ricky, whenever they want to interject or they have like a certain opinion, we work that out. Anything other than that, sometimes I'll just bring Chris like a word, chords. I like to make a lot of just weird chord progressions or like use like funky chords, like the song Seventh Heaven. That song was made off of like I think Chris was showing me like Dance Gavin Dance, and like he showed me like one of their songs, and like I saw this one chord. It was another way to play like a C major 7 or something like that, or whatever chord it is. And like I was like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. And then that's how I made Seventh Heaven. I'll usually make chord progressions and stuff like that, and I'll usually give it to Gavin. And we just usually work that out that way, layer it out, and yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know, with the what?
What's your role in the band?
No, I know. I was gonna say like I'm like outside of like the musical aspect, I just kind of help out with like on the YouTube. Mm-hmm. So like we'll all like kind of put ideas out. Mainly like Keanu and Chris will have like create a final product, and then I'll just like watch Chris. Like whenever I see a post go up on Instagram, I'm like, it's my time, and I go and I go and upload it on YouTube. Like I just copy him, and then that's about it with there. I mean, and then I just help planning stuff. Like whenever we're in a meeting, I'm like the scribe. I take all the notes, so in case anyone missed it, I write it down. I mean, it's what I naturally do. I just do a lot of little things.
Like number crunching.
I keep track of all the like for now financials for now. Like I'm like interim. I keep track of all that. Like I do all the bookkeeping for now.
Very, very important, by the way.
Yeah. I basically like right now I just making sure that because like all of it, I don't know, to spare all the details, I'm just making sure that we all know where everything is basically. Mm-hmm. So we're not all in the dark about like where this money is, where's this, how are we gonna afford this, all blah 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 blah. It's all somewhere so we can all look at it.
I would say too, Ricky's kind of like a jack of all trades because he'll be here or he'll be there whenever we're like writing a song or something, and like I'll like say out loud like I need synonyms for this because I want to fit this word, or I'm trying to find this word, and he'll like suggest something and it keeps our flow going because without him there, we'd be looking on Rhyme Zone for hours trying to like figure it out. And it's like, Ricky's kind of like in different parts of every song, and he's helped it become what it is, especially the music theory knowledge. That's like a big thing too that Ricky helps with.
He's the only guy I think who has like the best music theory.
Yeah, I mean, I taught myself music theory, and then I studied it a bit in college to like.
A bit? Aren't you in
I-
3, 4?
Oh, I know. I already finished it all already. I mean, the only other music theory is if I went to grad school for it. I liked it. I mean, to me, okay, I guess it's a branch off topic. Real quick. To me, the music theory is like it's a puzzle. It's just like a rule book. You learn all the rules, and then you learn how history about it, how they broke the rules, and then I just like seeing how these people did it. And then it's applicable because like you had all these rules, you break the rules, and you just see how all these older people did it, and then now you see how it's applicable to us now. I mean, every time I hear that, I don't tell them like, "Oh, you did a 1-4-5, whatever." I just know it and I keep it to myself. But if they ever ask me for something, I'll be like, "Yeah, you could probably do this."
Have you ever attempted to break some of these rules musically or no?
All the time. Yeah, all the time. They don't. I mean, they know it too. The thing is they know it. They know it with their ears. I just know it like I just have names for it that they don't have. But they do the same thing that I do, just with their head and their ears. And when they sing, they're like, "I don't know if that's right." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense. It's not right because that's such a dissonant interval." They know it because they hear it. I know it because I hear it and I have a name for it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So yeah, and so when like on Saturday nights, the harmony there, the Saturday, they were like we were stuck on that for like an hour.
Yeah, in the studio.
And like they were like suggesting, I'm just gonna say some jargon music theory. They were like trying to do this fourth and all this fourth movement, this chordal movement. And I was like, that's not gonna work. Yeah, they were doing all that. They were doing some chordal stuff, and I was like, that's not gonna work. This is a pop song, man. This needs to be nice and beautiful. And so I was like, let's just stick to those thirds. And so I just suggested the notes to Gavin, and Gavin was like, "Oh, that's it." And then I was like, and then so we did it, and it sounds great. It's literally like some Mozart shit on there. Like it's just ba ba ba, and then you go down like a third and ba ba ba. You know, I didn't sing it perfectly there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, jack of all trades and all that.
I am the
With cream. Cherry on top.
the cherry on top. I do so my role non-musically is like the business side of things. I typically manage the email, respond to business inquiries. If it's something that goes to our manager, it'll go to our manager, whatever. Building relationships with other bands is kind of my forte. Chris is really good at that too. He helps with that. I do a lot of booking, money management. Recently, I've been filing for an LLC for INOHA so we can do our taxes because now this is like a real. We have it now. Like we're a real business. Like a lot of the legal stuff. I do a lot of bookings for tours.
Yeah,
like
your IRS will be like,
Yeah.
why are you getting so much?
I do a lot of the bookings, like hotels, Airbnbs, wherever we're staying, shows, things like that. Like I reached out to you.
He's our dad.
He's
Band
a-
dad. I typically drive mostly because I'm a stickler about like no one drives my car but me.
That's fair.
That is fair. Yeah, I got a new car specifically so we could drive places.
It's more efficient.
But musically, yeah, Keanu, Chris, they create the bones. Ricky's there and he's the jack of all trades. He fills in the gaps. Typically, when the song comes to me, there's already a pretty solidified structure. Sometimes I'll be like, this is not consumable enough. This needs to completely change. Or sometimes I'm like, dude, this is practically almost done. It just needs like a little bit of sprinkle on top. Like
veto songs though. Like
I do. It's like sometimes I'll just hear a snippet of it. I'm like, this is not it. Like Guess You Out was originally like a really sad, slow song. And I was like, dude, what is this? And I said, let's add like 30 BPM. Let's speed it up a bit, play it with this rhythm. And then it turned into what it is now. We had Biggest Salmon is like the one that has most of my touch on though. Cause it's like, that is our most like pop punky kind of song, edgy song. That one obviously has my influence, but we have another song that's unreleased called I Should Have Known. And we were struggling. I was like, I said, it's missing something. I don't know what it is. Listened to a few songs and came back to it. I was like, just change the drums. The structure's fine. Simplify the chords, take out 2 of these chords, just make it 3 chords, really easy to play, change the drums, and it's a pop song.
him being your drummer.
Yeah. And
that's also a good.
Him and I being able to swap. I kind of speak.
speak the same language.
I hear. Yeah, I have no background in music theory, but I used to play mariachi. That's actually why I went to UTRGV here to play there for like a bit, and it didn't work out because COVID. But I have that ear for rhythm and what's consumable. So I'm really like the final say. If I don't like it, I'm gonna fight to the death on it. And they typically listen to me, and I'm glad they do because it ultimately helps the song. It's trust.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of trust, and it's also going back to that thing is we kind of hate each other a little bit. Yeah, we kind of hate and we hate each other in a positive way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we don't take things personal. We want, at the end of the day, we want to make a good song,
Yeah.
and we will fight for whatever stance we have, and if we can't come to a compromise, maybe it'll come later on. But we always have creative differences, but we don't let that limit us. In fact, that helps us, find out new ways to work with each other, and innovate. Yeah, definitely.
I will say, like, in the end, the biggest thing that we do is like, it's never one person versus another person, or like
the world.
It's always INOHA. Like, what's best for INOHA? What is best for the group as a whole? If we didn't argue about the things that we argue about, and we get in some heated arguments, if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be making the music we're making.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be as good as we feel it is now, and that's just how it works, And like, there's some bands that I've been in before where I've thrown out a suggestion or something, and it was just immediately like, that's not me, or like, and it was gone, and that sucks because you as a musician, you're trying to put yourself into this music too. You want to be seen as a musician in this song. And if you can't get seen, then you're not even part of the band at that point. Yeah.
What's nice about INOHA too is I've been in other bands where like the lead singer has, or just call it lead singer syndrome, where it's like they want to be controlling of what the band sounds like. Keanu's not like that. Sure, he's a front man, but he sings on the majority of the songs, but he's not controlling. I mean, if he likes an idea, he's gonna fight for it. And then sometimes I'll be like, I'll fight him back. One of us is going to win eventually, but it's always a 25%. Like, we all contribute equally. And that's really nice. And on some songs, obviously I might contribute 50%, like Biggest Salmon. That's like, some of us just naturally grasp onto a song and be like, this is my forte and what it's sounding like. And we'll take the reins. And it's cool that way, because sometimes it comes out completely different. Some of these songs would have sounded not like INOHA at all if they would have just stayed, if Keanu just wrote it by himself. And so it's really nice just not having lead singer syndrome in this band.
Thank God.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
you can really feel it. Like when I saw you guys like talking to each other while sitting up, like you guys, basically, you're like brothers, basically.
Oh yeah.
There's no other way of describing it, because I know some people or some bands that they struggle with getting along with each other. No, it's fine.
He's
This
goofballs.
is like what you should want in the band, like, especially this.
Slapping each other's legs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Just affectionate.
Man, but yeah, another thing about this band is also that, we're not just a bunch of yes guys. Again, we have our differences, we have our stances, and I think that's what really also separates us from other bands, because sometimes bands will just, make what one guy wants to make. And, sometimes it'll be like one vision, and like it might be just very linear, but for us, we're kind of like, ooh, some stuff like that.
Just because we write this way doesn't mean you have to do it either, though. Yeah. Like, there's some bands that only one person writes the music and it works. And if it works for them, great. We just like the way we write music. So don't let us be like, it should be a 25%. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be 25%. In a lot of bands, there's always just one person who contributes. And that's really it. So whatever works for the band is what's right.
What advice would you give bands that are like trying to like hit the stride? Because you guys have already experienced quite a bit already in your journey, from what I've seen at least. What advice would you give like younger bands that are barely starting off?
You'll know it when you've reached the right band. That's my piece of advice. That, and then just make connections. Every show you go to, talk to all the bands, talk to whoever booked it.
Yeah, because some bands are guilty of just taking off. They finish their set and they just take off, and it's kind of like, okay.
Well, I mean, also, I guess to define more of his statement of you'll know it. A better way to figure that out is it's the people that you're going to be working with. It's the people you surround yourself with. Probably your first band is not going to work out because one, you're a novice, and probably they're a novice too in the band thing. But don't be afraid to take that experience and learn a lot from it. Learn, okay, this is how the dynamic should work. This is how I function in a band. This is what I may need from other members in a band. And then, you play shows with that band, maybe things don't work out. Maybe it lasts a year, but then you meet your Keanu or then you meet your Chris, and then you meet your Gavin, and then you branch off. Maybe you part ways with it. And you can't be afraid of that. You find the people who are like, yeah, I really like this person. And, it's just like a relationship. You find you feel the things that you don't have. Like if you have a specific thing that you're great at, like, right, I do a lot of the rhythm and I'm a lot of a gimmick person in writing, but I don't have the natural ability to well, yeah, I can write melodies, but the natural ability to, whatchamacallit?
Jack of all trades.
I know. When you talk to people, what is the term? It starts with an N.
I just talk to people. Yeah.
Talk to people. Mingle, stuff like that. I don't always do that, so I wouldn't survive it as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't sing and play. But so these guys are great because they are on top of it all the time, and all I do is I'm there to support that. But I fill my role. You make yourself useful. You find the people who are useful, and you fill the need with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, and to definitely expand on what he was saying, so yeah, if sure our previous project didn't work out, but I wouldn't have met Ricky, and we wouldn't have started INOHA if I didn't stay longer. I built that musician connection with him. And I think another thing for musicians and bands is to start learning how to market, start learning how to navigate social media, because it's hard. I know it's hard. I know you want to be a musician, and that's fine. If you want to just be a musician, that's all cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your art. You decide what you want to do with it. But if you want to take the route where it's like, oh, I want to play stages, I want to sell out shows, I want to live off this, learn how to navigate social media, copy what other bands are doing. That's what we've done. Sometimes you'll see a reminiscent things that we do. And I literally saw we made this one reel, and I think another artist literally copied the exact same thing that we did, text for text and everything. They just changed the name INOHA and their name, and and that's fine. You can do that. I mean, if it helps you, it helps you. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be your own. Obviously, music. You have to create content. You have to network, book your own shows. You have to put yourself out there, and that's what it takes to be, I think, a musician in the modern climate.
Yeah, I think promotion's a huge thing. The other thing I'd say, and this is a personal thing that I've had even in my solo music, is constantly. I hate you, Keanu. Constantly improving yourself. There is so many people that, and don't get me wrong, I know it's not it's easier said than done. You get to a certain point with your instrument where you're just this is me. I'm there. But since Gavin's joined, he's learned new chords completely from Keanu. Yeah. Yeah. Gavin's been breaking his fingers and learning how to play some of those jazz chords. And it's but it's you have to constantly you have to re-humble yourself and be hey, I don't know everything about my instrument. Just because you've been playing for 20 years doesn't always mean that you know everything about this instrument. I know people that have been playing for 20 years that don't know some of the chords Keanu plays. And it's just, you have to be you have to humble yourself sometimes and be I don't know everything about this. What can I learn new? And how can I improve myself as a musician? And that's also where I started getting into marketing for my music too. And for our music, I started doing it because I realized this is a process. This is a part that I need to improve as a musician. I need to improve my promotion game. So I did. And I started learning about it. I started learning about the analytics that go into that. And it's as a musician, if you're not if you're constantly thinking you're already at the top of your game, you're never gonna be at the top of your game, dude. Like you're never gonna be at the top of your scene even. And it's like you have to constantly find like where can I improve? What can I do better? And sometimes you'll get really good at one thing and then the other thing will fail and you'll just have to find that balance. But it's all part of being a musician for sure.
And, I'm glad you said that because I think some people, not musically, but like socially, they struggle with being humble. I had interviewed like a couple of people, or talked with a couple of bands as well, where they're not very humble people, and they're not in the right position to be like thinking highly of themselves.
Yeah.
And that kind of like also like ruins it for certain people, I guess, like for themselves and their bandmates. Because like if you're all together and one person's acting like an ass, it's gonna ruin it for the rest of you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I never got that feeling with you guys. Like you guys are, you guys are doing decently well right now. And I never got that feeling like, oh, like we think we're better than others.
Oh no, man. We
Still do better.
no,
Yeah.
we're all a bunch of
I seen bands, to be honest, like I seen bands who are smarter than you guys act like they have the main character syndrome.
the main character syndrome. Man, but
Big time.
we're all just a bunch of sponges, you know. We like to soak in all the information that we can, and we're always trying to learn how to be better. And you know, when if people think that we're the best, we probably won't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to piggyback that, I mean, like, you know, anytime I see something that the band may need, whether it's musically or business wise or marketing wise, I try to fill the need. Chris asked me to make some some content the other day. I was busy doing something at the time, but I told him, hey, I'll do it. If someone beats me to it, that's okay, but I'll do it. I did it at midnight and I finished at 2 a.m. I sent it his way and there you go. And if like we're starting to get into all this business stuff, I've been like trying to educate myself on like the all the laws based around that and all the little ends and ways, just stuff like that.
Any like laws or like stuff you found like legally that you found interesting, like that involves bands?
I mean, not necessarily. You guys gotta know how to. I mean, one, we're getting the LLC, right? So we're a partnership, right? We already have it. Then we're getting I don't know. I guess I can just business account, right? And so we have to get a contract. It was like an operation agreement, and then he knows this too. He's been feeding that information too. But whenever he says something that I don't know, I go and look it up and try to see like, well, if he doesn't know something, then maybe I'll figure it out and stuff like that, But knowing all these things, it's tight. I mean, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's not really a thing that like it's an option. You have to. I think that's one of the universal things. You have to always have that, like, I need to figure these things out. Because if I want to make it, or if I want to succeed in something, I need to find the areas that, maybe something's missing and to make myself useful there. So that, because we're a team and I got to be a team player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more piece of advice, and it's actually a really important piece of advice. If you're like trying to take your music into a business realm, if you're making money off your music, like significant money, I'm talking like you're selling merch and you're making, if you've ever made $250 off of your merch sales in one night, you're probably at the level where you need an LLC. Don't procrastinate on it, because the longer you procrastinate, the more your taxes are going to be. So if you're really trying to be serious about your music, do it as soon as possible. Like, worst case scenario, you have an LLC and you're not making any money. You pay that down payment of what? It's $300 in Texas to file for an LLC, but you don't have to pay taxes on income you don't make.
Yeah, because it would fall under yourself. Like if you're an individual, it would fall under one of you guys.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're going to be paying taxes here soon because we're making money off our streams and our merch. But I mean, that's great. That's what we want to do. But also, yeah, just file for an LLC. Don't procrastinate on it. It's $300, and yeah, that sucks to put down. But in the long run, it's going to help you. It's going to
all the tax benefits that come with that. It's going to help you guys out.
You can put everything as a tax write-off with all that stuff. Yeah, practically everything.
Save your receipts and everything.
Save your
Yeah.
receipts.
That's why you get the business account. Then you goes on that card and then you whatever.
One thing I would recommend, like this is just like it's related to that, but not really. Get Walmart Plus. I'm shilling Walmart Plus because if you get the card with them, you get 10 cents off each gallon, and it applies to Walmart, the Walmart brand, like their own gas station, Murphy USA, and ExxonMobil. So like wherever you go,
Really?
10 cents off. and it's $100.
Write that
But,
down.
but no, yeah. Walmart Plus, yeah.
Backflip for that.
Yeah. No, like it saves you a lot of money. Like if you're buying gas, I mean, you need gas, especially if you're touring.
Yeah.
It's gonna save you a lot of money.
Then you go to California.
There you go. Those things. So get that. It costs $100, but if you have a college like email, it's $50. So per year.
We all have.
So imagine how, and you can share the codes. Like it gives you a code to like get the discount, so you can share between your family or friends. You're saving a lot of money.
Okay, well,
I
I'm
would
glad you
recommend
said
that.
that because we're probably going to do that as soon as we're like in the car now.
Yeah,
We're
and
gonna get
I
one.
highly recommend people do it because especially bands, if you're touring, you're gonna save quite a bit of money with that.
We will do that. Cool. All right. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, of course.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're just four dudes having fun playing music.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's blown up and it's big. We're in over our heads or whatever. We're just trying
I
to have
think it's
fun.
fun that I think it's great that you guys do that because I think there's been a lot of cynicism just lately in the world because there's a lot of bad stuff happening, of course. And I think sometimes you just need like cheerful stuff in your life just to
It's hard.
balance it off.
It's hard to stay happy and sane, like sometimes. But
And your music adds to that. Like your music is like, okay, let's have fun, let's be cheerful, it's silly.
yeah,
And you need that in life.
yeah. And that's why I make our show silly. Like we want to have fun. Some artists, their whole shtick is they want to be serious and like they're making music, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like, why are you so serious? I mean, sure, that's your stage persona and people like that, but we don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we like that type of music and their artist performance, but we don't want to perform like that. We just want to have fun. And if people are having fun with us, wonderful. Like that is what we want. We want people jumping around. We got a paper jams air guitar in the car right now that we're gonna bring out on stage, like and have someone play with us just like randomly. A paper jam guitar, like that's gonna be cool. We're just gonna have fun.
Yeah. And I really enjoy that. Like I love fun. Because again, like when it comes to like, for example, video games, an example, I'm more of an internal person because it's often colorful, fun, it's silly. While some people prefer like seriousness, like with the PlayStation or Xbox, for example. And I think the influence you have is like very important because I remember when I was like younger, I was like part of a church group and we would have festivals and I would often bring like video game consoles just because it's what I had. So like, it's what I could offer. And later on I became a substitute teacher. And one of these kids came up to me and was saying like, hey, like, I'm not sure you remember me, but like when I was younger, I would go to that festival and I would play video games because it was one of the few times I can actually afford to play and have fun with my friends. And so like stuff like that stuck to me. We're like, okay, yeah, like just even if it's just silly or having fun, like for somebody out there, it's gonna mean the world to them, and they're gonna remember that for the rest of their lives.
Dude, some of these gigs that we played, they're gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. And they're only gonna get better from here. And that is the most fun thing about it.
Yeah, and we also love, again, always uplifting our community and always, being an inspiration and even just helping people, like we get DMs from people who are like, oh, you helped me get through this, or I was going through the hardest time in my life and your music helped me. And that's, to me, that is invaluable. That's awesome to hear from a person, especially, it's glad to know that we're we're helping people with our music.
Is there anything else you guys want to say, like towards the audience or whatever? Because I know right now I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's almost 6:30, 6:35. I know you have to go to the venue in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Let's see. Well, we when is this coming out?
Probably like in a week or two.
In a week or two. Flamingos in the Tree tour. That is from August 30th to September 2nd. We are going to Denver, Dallas, Austin, and Houston. Please, there are tickets in our link tree. In our bio. You usually say the username.
Like your social media as well.
Our username is at INOHA_band. Please follow us on there. We're about to hit 50K followers on there too, so I'm really excited about that. Another backflip, let's go. But yeah, like follow us on those platforms too if you really want to stay with us and stay updated, because Instagram's our main platform. We have a Facebook and whatever, but like yeah. Yeah, we mainly focus Instagram. So again, if you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on Instagram. Our personals are in there too if you want to follow just one of us or whatever. But add us on Reddit, whatever.
Just to impress.
But yeah, no, like we'd really appreciate if you followed followed us on there. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, just stream INOHA. Our music is kind of cool.
We love you. And we appreciate you deeply for listening to our music. I was going to say, I read this one comment on our post that, that this was like one of our Seventh Heaven was like the last song he shared with his friend before he passed.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that and I was like, that's really beautiful. And so something like that, that was kind of branching off. That meant a lot to me. I didn't know what to say to him, but I just knew that, you know what, the INOHA was there. Yeah. And I thought that was great. It was beautiful. So if that does that for you, stay for the ride.
If my homies don't got me, I know INOHA got me.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. All right, Gavin, top that. All right.
Wow, I did not see that comment. I did not know that existed. But on a much lighter note, I like Canes.
Canes, sponsor them.
Yeah, dude, for real. Canes, dude. Dude, even if it's just a partnership, send us some shirts or something.
Look at that.
A call to all the Canes managers.
A call to all the Canes managers. If you want to support us or you like our music, send us some t-shirts. Send us some money. Send us some box combo. Whatever happens,
Canes tour.
let us play at your Canes and we'll turn it into
Canes-
like
Canes-
the
yeah, Canes
coolest
tour.
thing ever. Like
Who needs Vans? Go do with Canes.
we just like Canes. Canes is there whenever we're hungry. It's open late. It's reliable. Yeah, man. Just Canes, we want to be with you in the same boat. We want to be in a partnership. So just hit us up. We're always there. INOHA_band on Instagram.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.